Oh boy, you guys are gonna hate this one. It's this week's episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
What do you think? Because Lauren Bono posted a tweet saying...
like I should name my show.
Reply to this and I'll name your show. And Alex replied saying, do one for Andrew Hastings, and it was just Butt Baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the logical progression of the career of Andrew Hastings, just to do a celebration of Butt Baby.
Yeah, I mean, when I get some like
Butt Baby, we hardly knew you.
I'll do a show about Butt Baby.
Man, an hour show about you writing
about the process of Butt Baby.
About the
You've
process,
got to do an interview
the
segment.
joke, and the post-joke reaction.
Yeah.
And
You got to do an interview segment with Tim Clark, who did Butt Baby on
and
stage.
your attempts to dissect why it's bad or good.
Yeah, Tim Clark, the one man who was able, like, it's like the one guy who was like almost able to lift Thor's hammer. You know what I mean?
Did we? Oh, yeah. At this point, I'll probably have posted it on the Instagram, but I'm going to post a photo of Tim doing Butt Baby when that episode comes out, where he claims he might do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's. Oh, I think it might be this Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one coming out this Thursday.
Yeah, so shall we talk about what just happened in the room?
Yeah, it's a really tragic moment when you realize, and like you just have to admit to yourself, like, I just enjoy blackface.
I mean, there are such better ways to say what just happened than being like, yeah, I love it.
So, long-time listeners of the pod will be very familiar with Sam, my housemate.
She's the one who makes the brownies.
Yeah. And she occasionally laughs off
sh-
screen at Hastings' escapades.
Yes, and she's chimed in once or twice on mic.
All right, so we know who Sam is.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you guys might not know. I'm a woman, so I understand this. Is occasionally you have to pamper yourself.
You're a woman?
Sorry, I have to go.
maybe enjoy a bit of a face mask.
Yeah.
I don't mind a face mask.
I've worn
Have
face
you
masks.
ever actually worn a face mask? You've got a lot of beard. It would be pretty hard to put on.
Yeah, I wore one when I was on vacation once. And I've worn them like before. I haven't seen one that looks quite like Sam's one that I just saw.
Which was a shade, we could say maybe charcoal black.
Yeah.
She was,
Blacker than...
she just came out, and it really looked like it.
Yeah,
It was great.
It was real boot polish black.
This is going to be one of
But just know that Sam is not racist
No.
and is just trying to feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't say she was doing it for the lols.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she didn't say pool's closed. Man, that's a no way deep cut, baby.
This is gonna be one of those episodes that I think people hate. Because there's gonna be writing and arguing.
I think this more so than any of the Blink ones.
Oh yeah, no. This is gonna be more like the playlist episode where people are just like, oh my god, they're just fucking listing things.
Yeah.
Oh well, we did a retrospective 20 episodes in.
Yeah, that was good too.
That was great. Oh man, I got more preamble stuff.
Yeah, cool.
I was at a party last night.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the boys. I've had a big weekend.
Yeah.
For context, I was talking to the boys.
All of it very depressing sounding.
Man, it was a good week. I've had a great weekend.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just wrecked now. But I was talking to the boys, and I was like, man, I think I got to maybe just take a few weeks off, just ease up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, yeah, good idea. Then I remember it's my birthday next weekend. And then I get a week off, then it's my Bucks party. I've got to do so much partying in the next few weeks.
I've got to do it.
You're like Slims
do
McKenzie.
I am too.
Oh, that's so bad for me because I've done it the last 2 or 3 weekends or whatever, and that means I'm going to have to fucking do it the next 2 weekends.
This Saturday's going to be pretty big, I think. Yeah, it'll be good.
I'm not going.
Yeah, no, you're at a wedding, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's probably for the best.
Ultimate excuse.
It's gonna be fun because I get into Queensland at 9 in the morning. I'm just gonna pack Hawaiian shirts and board shorts and just drink Mai Tais until it's wedding time, baby.
Hawaiian board shorts as well, the flowery ones.
No, I wish I had a pair. Maybe I should get some during the week.
Yeah, you could go into a Glue or something like that and get the old matching shirt and shorts
that'd be
combo.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed now because I just watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it, but sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But Brad Pitt looks so hot in it.
That's all everyone says.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
got this yellow Hawaiian shirt with a champion shirt underneath it. And I was like, okay, well now I just have to buy that.
I reckon
Yeah.
Brad Pitt will go down in history with Brando and James Dean and shit. I reckon he's in that pantheon of hot guy.
Yeah.
He's got to be number one.
He's also like...
Man, like James Dean, like.
Have you ever seen him in like Fight Club? Like,
Oh man, please.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Have I seen Brad Pitt in Fight Club?
Maybe let's talk about it.
oh dear.
Yeah.
Self-improvement.
You
Yeah.
know what is underrated though? I reckon
Self-destruction.
Ed Norton looking pretty good in Fight Club too.
Edward Norton's hot in it. Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, like, Brad Pitt is not just hot. He's cool. Like, that's
Yeah.
the James Dean, Marlon Brando
yeah.
thing.
But
Because he can
he's-
be, like, hot.
But he's also successfully transitioned from being like a hot dude to being like the real good-looking older man like
Yeah.
Robert Redford.
And
Yeah.
he's a sick actor. He's such a fucking good
I
actor.
think he's an extremely underrated actor.
Yeah, I think that's like a common take. But yeah, like I agree.
But I
Yeah,
reckon
no,
like,
totally.
with that whole furor that went up where like it just became a meme of like DiCaprio not getting Oscars, like I reckon Brad Pitt
Pitt's
better.
a way better actor than DiCaprio.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
came out of it because a lot of people have been talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood being like, yep, DiCaprio's perfect in it. But I've thought Brad Pitt was much more entertaining.
Yeah, Brad Pitt like works really well with like good directors. Brad Pitt like works really well with the Coen brothers and Tarantino. Like he's like seems to like a
And
good.
Fincher.
Yeah, like he seems to like a auteur director sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Was
totally.
Fincher 7?
Yeah,
Yes.
and Fight Club.
Mm.
Yeah.
And The Social Network,
Yeah, but Brad Pitt
starring
was-
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt as
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg.
Just a draw.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's a very hot version of Brad Pitt. What's crazy is that Jesse Eisenberg is still the hot Mark Zuckerberg.
yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so much hotter than Mark Zuckerberg.
Totally.
I don't know. Mark Zuckerberg isn't like an ugly goon, though. Like, he's just a
No.
bland-looking guy.
No,
He's probably
He's very
listening into
bland.
this right now
That's true.
and plotting our destruction.
I watched that Chappelle special. Speaking of things that I thought was fine,
Oh, yeah, I watched that too.
it was fine.
Yeah, I mean,
You
whatever.
say that in my presence? So he's taken down me?
Soz babe.
Well, he
Me
said
and the alphabet people.
he just
Yeah.
can't help it.
Yeah, that shit was like hack. I thought, but like
It's hack. I don't know. I would expect someone of his ability to like
Yeah, I can't. Yeah,
be better than to like go down there. You can't fucking say anything anymore.
yeah.
route.
It
Like,
did feel like that was my thing. I think like he's still obviously very good at writing and telling jokes. And
Yeah.
he's Dave Chappelle's like one of the fucking goats. But man, what a poor take I'm taking right now. But it's like, yeah, it was nowhere near as original as his other hours. Like
Yeah.
you're normally so original.
He's so much better than that.
What's your take, James? You think it's the best thing he's
I
ever
thought
written?
that part was the best part. No, of course not. I just kind of like, I stopped kind of paying attention during that part because I was just kind of like, oh, I see what he's doing. Like, because it's a long joke about like all the people in the LGBTQI sphere on like a car ride. And you're just like, oh, there's some cute little jokes in there.
Yeah, so
but,
it was like kind of cleverish.
But like his other stories were like much more entertaining.
oh, definitely.
And
yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, whatever. Like,
yeah, who cares, man? He's like a 50-year-old dude as well.
I mean, as well, like, he fucking, like, I mean, this is the worst unoriginal take, which we seem to just be committing to.
man, I love it.
But, like, on Twitter, everyone's saying, and, like, hopping
Well,
on
I
the
think
back
that-
of it is, like, he fucking walked away from Chappelle's show because he thought, like, white people were laughing at black people for the wrong reason. So he's like, yeah, I want to protect the disenfranchised. And then this special, like, half of it is just like, yeah, not, but like black people only.
Yeah.
He's like anyone,
Yeah.
any other like subgroup.
Yeah.
Just worried about myself.
I think we're getting all the the cold takes out of the way because there's going to be some hot ass takes.
Yeah,
in this
that's
bracket.
I hope you like cold takes about Dave Chappelle because we got some very
I-
hot takes
I'm-
about the band Rufio.
I mean, there's going to be some searing takes in this, I believe.
Should we discuss the rules briefly? Should we
Well,
just do it like we did last
I'll
time?
because we need some content or whatever.
Yeah.
I've over the last couple of weekends, Mum has gone out and got on the ding dong dangs, and I've
For
done
a second, I thought you meant your mum.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
No.
I was like, "What's your mum done?"
No, people keep doing that. But I'm persisting.
You're trying to force a nickname.
Yeah.
This is what absolutely.
Yeah.
was.
No, but it-
Yeah,
no,
this
but
is the
yeah.
bit. This is very the big dog.
Yeah, the joke I was about to go with James was, you're trying to force a nickname and the big dog doesn't approve because that works on like 3 layers. Now,
But
'cause
also,
now
like,
I'm doing
but then,
Rose's
yeah,
joke.
that's Rose's joke. Yeah.
But my
That's
thing is,
sick.
but I don't. I don't want other people to call me that. I'll just call myself that because I think it's funny. But
All right, that's how it starts, dude. Like,
Yeah. Slippery slope.
we all know that you were very, very much trying to get everyone to call you the big dog.
you know, slippery slope is, and I can't finish that joke.
No, I think it's already been done before.
Right.
It
But
sounds like it was a joke in that Chappelle special. But
Yeah.
You can't say anything anymore.
Yeah. I'm sick of these slippery trans.
That's you.
Just because I think this will
That's a good Chappelle.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a good
You
Chappelle.
can't say anything anymore. No, I
Yeah.
lost it.
But that's you was good.
That,
was a
was
good.
starting to get towards racist.
Yeah. But that's you was pretty spot on. Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, that's not bad.
not bad.
Let's do more impressions on the podcast.
All right, I'll do.
I'm the good
Sa-
impressionist. I'd love to.
All right, I'll do Samuel Jackson. You do Kevin Hart. You do Obama.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Sam, you get back in here. You do Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Well, I was thinking more of doing Ken Jeong in The Hangover.
Oh man, please. Race us.
Yes, please commit to it.
Yeah, but no. Essentially, my report was that I've done a total flip flop in my thinking that Amel is really grubby because last weekend I got
Called
caught.
it.
Last weekend I got caught up in the hysteria, and I was like, "Sure, I'll do it."
That
While I
was
was
the
really high,
best.
and it was it's so good.
What have I been fucking saying?
We did so much of it last night,
That
and it
was
was
so much
great.
fun, dude. I love it.
But I woke up with a headache this morning, which I
Oh, that
wouldn't
will
normally
happen.
get,
You
yeah.
are like literally sniffing like boot polish. Like
Yeah.
you are.
Isn't that what it is? Like leather
It's
polish?
furniture cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also the best.
Yeah.
Listeners, don't do drugs. I feel like we encourage this. You'd like make good choices. All right, like if you want to fuck around with drugs, it's cool, but be sensible. You know, harm reduction, harm minimization, all that sort of good stuff.
Just don't do them like the way Hastings does them.
Yeah, don't be like me. You know, when I was 13 years old, my dad took me aside and told me he was a bad role model, and I should try try deliberately not to emulate him. I'm doing that to you now, listener. Don't make the mistakes I've made, and you know, do ketamine and watch the Golden Girls till 9 a.m.
Yeah, see, that just sounds awful.
But you can't even say do as I say, not as I do, because you say stupid things and then also do stupid things.
That's called living your best life. I don't know.
Whoa, crazy. I just got a message from my friend Ali who lives like around the corner. And she said the cops are swarming Redfern Station. Apparently some bloke has a knife.
Oh, wow.
And you're reading that out now so that like the time stamp. What time is it right now, Rose?
It is 3:45 on Sunday, the 8th of
All right,
September.
and I'm in Rose Piper's house recording a podcast.
We're all alibying out, doing impressions of famous black people.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, just making sure that it's on record.
That's going to be like Sam in court and be like, and what were you doing at the time?
And she's still got the mask
Well,
on.
I had black all over your face, Sam.
So good. Man, have you guys watched Golden Girls?
No.
Not for a long
Man,
time.
I've never seen it before. I was
It's
watching
great.
it Friday night. It's so fucking good.
It's really funny.
It's really like tough, like 1985.
It also-
super tight and like
It holds up on the work scale
it's
massively.
like super woke and like really like good characters, like really funny. Betty White's a beast in the good way. I'm not saying she's ugly.
She's a mole.
I just want
in
to
a great
like,
way.
I'd-
She's got great night vision.
Like I'd fuck Betty White. I want that. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
then
she's
and now.
Yeah, she's a woman. Of course you would. Fuck
She's
her.
America's sweetheart.
yeah, she is a woman and I am a man.
Would you do B. Arthur?
Gee,
I can't remember what B. Arthur looks like.
B. Arthur kind of
She's
sounds
like the tall, like deep
She
voice.
kind
Let me Google
of
it.
like that. Like I like for like did a double take to see if she was trans. Like very tall, square jawed, deep voice.
Yeah.
Really? All right, I'm looking.
Would be like
She's not trans.
yeah. No.
Oh yeah, no, she doesn't look trans to me.
With the voice was quite.
Yeah, the
like,
Yeah,
voice
I
is
know
pretty
the
jarring.
voice.
she's very like dour.
That's going to be me at that age.
Damn,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Rose,
Yeah.
we're not going to live that long. We're all going to drown.
That's true. I'll probably die after the next month or so.
yeah. Look, man.
Should we?
So enjoy the pod while it's still here, idiots.
Yeah.
Should we explain the concept of this episode
Let's
a little bit?
do it.
Sure.
All right, so we've received a lot of good feedback about the music-focused episodes, and a lot of people.
We actually have.
Oh,
Can
have
I,
we?
can I
Yeah.
say that is because I met one fan at Powerbomb one night, Elliot, and he said he was very nice, and he said that he liked the Blink-182 episodes. And then I met another fan, the Spooning Goat, the other night. I cannot remember your name. I'm so sorry.
Spooning goat is what Yvette does when she goes to sleep.
Oh god.
No.
Yeah, with another.
it's kind of a cute one.
But also with another man.
With Jamie Joanno, sorry.
Yeah. But I met her, and she was also very lovely, and she also really liked the Blink-182 episodes. So it turns out maybe the people who hate them are just the people who listen, who are just my friends.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they sound like killjoys. And welcome to the
Fabulous
true lives of
Killjoys.
Fabulous. Yeah,
So-
we do have the same brain.
Yeah. So Yeah, mine just works at a higher capacity.
I wonder why.
Yeah, me too. So everyone loves the music.
Isn't
episodes.
it nice that more fans are coming up?
Yeah.
Please come and do that. It's
I do
very.
love
It's
that.
been very nice.
Tell your friends as well.
I literally think.
Well,
that-
the girl from the Spooning Goat said that she had recommended it to some friends. So
Yeah.
that was very lovely. Thank you.
Yeah,
For
tell
doing
all
that.
your friends I said, what's up, listeners.
Yeah.
Man, but imagine how cool you'll see him. You'll be like, dude, I found this guy. He's like a 30-year-old emo. He's got this podcast. Man, it's pretty fucking... You'll like see him like you've got like the most obscure, like edgy indie taste. If you like a... Like,
I suppose
I'm a
you-
fan of Andrew Hastings.
I suppose
So maybe it
is
could be one of
kind
those things where it's
edgy to
like-
you.
Yeah, but maybe it would also be like one of those things where like you got to listen to this podcast. It'll make you feel so much better about who you are. It's like when you keep following those like crazies who have a sad
Absolutely.
life that's really public on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. I
When
love
you
that
go
shit.
to an emo night, is it kind of like, are you walking around being like, a lot of people, are they still current emos like you, or are they just dressing up for the night? Because I don't see
Bit of both.
many like regular emos like you around anymore.
Bit of both, but they're more like... They're not as cartoonishly
Do you
emo as me. They're a lot like... They're more like scene... Like
Do you
more
accuse
scene
them
kids.
of cultural appropriation?
If they dress up just to go there, then absolutely I do. I think it's worse than blackface. Black jeans.
Well, a lot of the like really aggressively trying to dress up as emo stuff looks like they're culturally appropriating like Japan.
yes. That's like
Yeah,
scene shit, dude.
Kind of.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's the answer.
so back to the concept.
Yes.
Everyone.
I went... Sorry, real quick. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it next episode. But like...
Can
But-
we just make this the whole episode?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
just
never
keep
do it.
cutting
Let's
you off.
I was gonna say just like I went to an emo night last weekend. Let's talk about it next episode.
Right.
Yeah.
A bit of
A little bit sizzle, baby.
bit, bit of
Yeah.
suspense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone.
Which city? You'll have to listen and find out.
Everyone loves the musical episodes. Everyone loves it when we list things.
Oh,
Everyone,
can we do a musical episode where we like it's a musical?
Baby.
as in like an improvisational musical, or we write the book for the musical?
Let's write it and
Yeah, let's write
also
the
sing
book.
it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'd love
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, Butt Baby reprise.
Yeah. Well, I did that for Everly the other
Oh
day.
yeah, you did too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was quite funny.
Yeah. Now I desperately want to write the book. It would be pretty easy, I think.
Can I be in it?
Well, yeah. Because
I'd like to be
there's-
in it in some way because of my ban from performing because it results in no crowd.
I'd like to do
Yeah,
it.
but that was turned over the last time we did the show when you were on. Remember, it's you get on when you're not booked.
That's what
Because
I mean. Like,
otherwise
but
it's
if I'm
bad
ever
luck.
actually booked,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no
Sure.
crowd.
we use the word book a lot. Anyway, yeah, explain the concept, Jamie.
All right. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
People love the musical episodes, the listing episodes, the argument episodes. So we were thinking, we've covered Blink-182 a bunch of times.
We will go back.
Yeah, we'll do more.
I want to do a
well,
neighborhoods
well,
app.
There are albums that we have not yet covered.
Yeah. And so we were thinking, what's a way to talk about some of the other bands? Because I pitched doing Sum 41, but not everyone.
And also because pop punk is just like the soundtrack to these movies.
So many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to explain the connection
Yeah.
between.
So we decided to put together, for all you sports fans, a bracket.
Oh, baby, bit of bracketology.
Which means today we're working out the best non-Blink-182 punk band.
yeah,
pop
it's best
punk
pop
band.
punk band, non-Blink 182 division.
And
And I've got some strong feelings
And
we all
that
do.
I think are going to be very argued
we've
against.
got a ton of bands. And before
We've got 32, don't
yeah.
we?
And any nerds who say you should include this band, why did you include this band? Shut the fuck up. We included the bands that we included.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I will admit, I don't know a bunch of these bands.
Same, but I gave them a go. I gave them a list.
I know every single one of these bands.
Yeah, you're the biggest pop punk fan here, though.
Yeah.
Also, we should mention for some bands, we're limiting it to their pop punk period.
Yes, true.
Yeah, and we'll get to those as they come up. We won't,
Yeah. So I figure we'll do the rules like we did with the playlist, where it's because we're never gonna reach unanimous for every single band, so
No.
it'll be majority vote gets through.
Okay.
All right. I want one more thing. We should determine what criteria we're judging based on, and I have a suggestion.
Uh huh.
I've been watching Cutthroat Kitchen lately.
Okay.
The criteria they judge
How good they can make a souffle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how every one of these bands can make a souffle.
Ryan Key makes a great cheese souffle.
I once met Ryan Key in what was it called? Like Bar Century.
Oh baby,
Oh, sick.
man! I was a veteran of Past Century.
Yeah,
He was.
We would have. I'm sure we would have been there.
Was
at the
that
same
was that
time,
the like the
James.
$3 beers?
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
$3
yeah, yeah.
beers,
We
sticky
probably
fuzz.
all would have been there
Yeah.
at the same time and
It's a
didn't
capsule
realize.
hotel now.
Oh yeah, I forgot they reopened that. But he was there, I think, with one of the dudes from All Time Low, and I went up and said hello to him and pretended like I was still a fan.
Yeah. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
And he was very nice.
It would be weird to be like, Ryan Key, I don't really listen to you anymore, man.
Yeah.
Do you still put stuff out?
Yeah, it'd be like if someone came up to you and you're like, Rose Piper, I love the Reese Piper stuff. The new stuff I haven't checked out yet.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
That'd be like the worst taste way to do the like I liked the old stuff better.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Reese Piper, if you catch my drift.
The Reese Piper hours were great.
Hey, they were.
Yeah, man, I was a fan.
Yeah, I wasn't being sarcastic. I was doing the character.
Yeah, you are insecure.
Anyway.
Oh, no, I wanted the criteria. Cutthroat Kitchen, right?
Yeah.
So it's like one is like two with like technical things, and the last one is like how, because the whole thing is they get like challenges and they fuck with it. So it's you're not just judging them as a band, you're judging them as a pop punk band.
Yeah.
So it's like it's got to be like how well do they represent the genre of pop punk?
I reckon that's going to really help some of the arguments that I want to make.
Absolutely. I think it's an important distinction to make. I think, and the other should just be like, how hard does it slap? So it's a combination of that, slappability, and how pop punk is it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So anything with slap bass is ultimately going to win the
Man, not
slappability
enough slap
contest.
bass in pop punk. I said it in 2003. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
You know which punk band has quite a lot of slap bass in the history of it? Is Frenzal Rom.
Really?
Yeah, Lex.
Oh, we didn't
and
include Frenzal
their
Rom.
new guy Tom are like both
It's
real
a
good.
different thing.
Yeah, that's not pop punk.
Yeah.
it's punk.
like Australian.
It's like scuzzy punk.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both very good bass players, and they used to like slap and pop a bit.
So this is exciting. I've picked 32 bands. You guys have not really seen the brackets.
Yeah.
No, because you said you put them
I
into
put
a
them into a
randomizer.
draw randomizer.
So we can't prepare arguments.
So we can't prepare arguments, and also so it wasn't like
It's fair that way.
yeah, and so it wasn't like me being like, well, Sum 41, I'll put them against the weakest.
You
band.
can't be trying to engineer like
Yes,
which
exactly.
ones go against.
It's all about being fair, so people can listen to us describe pop punk bands for the next 40 minutes.
We could go long,
Minimum.
baby. I don't have to be at the factory until 7:15.
Turn off now, Ross. Specifically.
From Friends.
Yeah. Okay, so shall we just get into it? I'll just start from the top left and we'll go down all the way.
Sure.
And then we're meeting in the middle. All right. So
Or should we list every band off?
no, I think that'll
No,
be
okay.
too much of a... we list it and then people are like, oh, what the fuck did he say 5 minutes ago?
That's true, yeah.
So let's just get into it. First round. Round one.
Round
Ding, ding.
one.
Baby,
Let's
baby.
also... Battle.
All right. Rose, if you could please put on the bikini and lift up the round one sign.
The bikini that we provided.
Damn.
Hey!
Got a bit of lace on you there.
Yeah,
Damn.
got a little bit of
Rose just
lingerie.
pulled a titty out, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't pull the titty out. I
Oh.
showed my bra off.
Yeah, damn.
Are you wearing a bikini under too?
No, I'm not wearing underwear.
Oh, really? Show us.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I'm wearing
That's
my
a
signature.
peach of a bum.
I'm wearing my signature little G banger,
Damn.
but you've all seen my butt.
Yeah.
Enough.
Signature G banger.
Should we...
Also,
It's a G banger in the shape of Andrew Hastings, my signature, and that's the bit that rides up your butt.
yeah, that's cool.
Also, for anyone who
The old
listens
John
to the
Hancock.
podcast who would like to see my butt, follow me on social media, Rosales Piper. I post it on there pretty frequently, to be honest.
All right, round one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The starting line versus unwritten law.
What an apt
Yeah,
first
Yeah.
pretty good.
band.
And part of the randomizer didn't do it on purpose.
Yep. All
How
right.
about that?
Alrighty. Who's got some strong opinions on this?
I
Unwritten
assume
law.
Rose will.
All right.
I honestly am not that familiar with the starting line. Unwritten Law, I was so into when I was younger. Like, smashed. I think it was the self-titled one, and Elva.
Yeah.
Heaps.
Elva was the big
Actually, I even quite liked the one after that, like Here's to the Morning or whatever, where like half the tracks were co-written by Phil Jemison from Grinspoon.
Damn.
I
Because
didn't
they
know
were
that.
real good friends, Scott Russo and him.
Man. The guy who wrote Chemical Heart? That's Grinspoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to always sing along.
It's a song
and
about
say
doing
chemical
drugs.
He
So
used to
I-
always say chemical fart, and that was very fun.
I didn't listen to the starting line until we prepared for this app.
Mhm.
They were good. I thought they were
Yeah,
good.
some of the shit in this, the only time I've heard it was going through.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, well, should we tell that as well? We made a playlist with all these bands.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we
in
can
it.
make that public.
Yeah,
when the
absolutely.
Yeah.
thing comes
Yeah, make
to-
up your own minds, dudes.
Yeah.
And
We'll
we tried
publish
to pick,
the brackets as well.
We tried to pick very emblematic pop punk songs for each
Yeah, something
Yeah.
that was reminiscent, and obviously some of them we're going to know a lot deeper of the catalog.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
So I was I thought they were good. I thought they were a fun, fine, serviceable pop punk band. Unwritten Law, I was like not like they're not one of my favorites, but I was into it when I was a teenager. I still chuck them on from time to time. I think they're very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So Unwritten Law from Andrew Hastings.
you're choosing Unwritten Law right away
Yeah.
off the bat.
off the bat.
I think Unwritten Law are maybe of a lot of these bands less towards the pop side of poppy punk. It was more like kind of like aggressive.
I don't hate that at all.
Slightly,
punk.
but
I'm
they-
into that,
Yeah,
but-
we've got a lot of like the skate punk bands on here
Yeah.
because they were kind of
Yeah.
around that era.
but they would have still been in like the Warped Tour thing.
oh,
and shit.
absolutely, they were.
Do you know what I
and
forgot?
I
I
thought
forgot
they
that
were
Katy
great.
Perry got big off the Warp Tour. Do you remember that?
yeah.
That's how
yeah,
Katy
yeah,
Perry
yeah,
got
yeah.
big. So
Really?
Yeah. She was doing all that shit with like 303
And
like,
she dated Travie McCoy from Gym Class
Yep.
Heroes for a long time.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
So hold on, she dated Russell Brand and Travie McCoy.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to like, let's say,
Combine those two people
combine those
together.
two people,
You mean
and
like-
then lower it all a lot,
Kind of like a shaggy-haired philosopher
kind of
type.
like. So what if there was kind of like a rowdy party boy emo, but also like kind of a funny guy?
You're not like
funny.
yeah, but you're also not like poncy and whimsical enough.
No, I'm like Travie in that respect.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where the Travie comes in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The womanizing is Russell Brand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so Rose, what did you think of the starting line though?
Like fine, but like so much of my enjoyment of this kind of music is like tied to like the nostalgia and how much I enjoyed it at the time.
Yeah.
So like Unwritten Law
That is not the case for me.
would always win.
I'll dip into new pop punk happily.
Yeah, same. There were ones where some of the older bands that I wasn't really familiar with quite surprised me.
Yeah.
And there might be a few upsets for me on here.
Yeah,
but
same,
like,
I think.
There's a lot of new like female-driven pop punk that comes out these days that I like listening to, but like not a lot of the dude stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
There's-
so into the dude stuff.
So
Is that why you became...
did I include the starting line song with the lyrics, the tear your ass up song? Was that the one I,
I
put
can't
on the
remember,
playlist?
maybe.
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't listening that intently.
Oh.
a lot of
Well, that's the lyric. I'm gonna tear your ass up like we just got married. And he's like, it's not about what you think it is, but it's hard not to.
What
make-
else could it mean?
yeah, like it's your wedding night and you have really aggressive anal.
The idea of like doing anal as like a special treat on your wedding night is funny to me because of all like obviously there's like the white wedding dress thing, but also like there is like traditionally like a weird expectation of like white lingerie.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be doing white lingerie and anal.
The
Can't be doing that.
The punch up to butt.
Well,
Babe-
once it's all off.
the
all
punch
bets
up
are
to
off.
butt baby that Steph told me about was very good and should be included in future butt baby iterations.
Was this the one that Ronnie Chang wrote when he stole my joke? Or
No,
was this
no.
the-
Yeah, we could talk about how Ronnie Cheng stole your joke word for word.
Can't
and-
stole my joke.
Oh baby.
But
I'm not gonna do it, but
you're never
someone
gonna
will
win
tell
that
him,
argument.
right?
no one's gonna tell him.
Someone he knows
He's like
it.
one of the biggest. He's probably Australia's
But
biggest comedic
he would
export
he would
right
know
now.
people who like he would be friends with people who know that joke well enough to know that.
I don't
joke?
think so.
Butt baby.
Is he seriously doing like
He
his
does
own
a
version of
joke
butt
about
baby?
you can get pregnant diarrhea. Baby,
It's called diarrhea baby.
He says, "Imagine
Oh, man.
being a diarrhea baby."
He
at
literally
one
says
point.
the words "Imagine being a diarrhea baby."
That is so funny.
The funniest thing is though,
What's fucked is
even
I'm
even the
weirdly vindicated.
even the people that know Ronnie and
no,
know
it's so
you.
funny that that's happened.
Yeah.
There's gonna be no one who Ronnie hangs out with that knows you who's gonna be like, yeah, that's Andrew Hastings' bit, dude. You should watch yourself.
Yeah, no
like
one's...
everyone's just gonna
Dude,
be like, that's pretty fun.
If he
Yeah.
like puts a version of butt baby,
There's a Netflix special of Ronnie Cheng coming out like soon. He's
I
filming
know.
it. It's probably gonna have diarrhea baby on
I
it.
think he
Dude,
already
that's
filmed it.
so fucked. If I'm gonna be so upset if that happens.
I'm gonna be so happy. Like we'd have
Ronnie fucking Chang.
to, like we'd have to watch the special for the podcast.
Do you have a
Diarrhea
video
Baby.
that's got like metadata
I'm
dated
pretty
back?
sure I do. I'll have to. I'll
You're gonna
look
have
it
to post it
up.
and be like, just so you know.
I'm sure I do.
Man, if you go to war with Ronnie Chang over a Netflix special thing,
There's
Imagine
like-
if somehow that resulted in Andy working on the Daily Show.
the
I-
emo correspondent.
Yeah, I just get his job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's so fucked. Stop.
Okay, so I assume Rose, you're voting for Unwritten Law.
I'm going for UL.
All right, well then I was gonna go for the starting line because I really like the starting line.
Yeah.
The two songs I picked, one of them's just a very famous one that I'm not a huge fan of, but I think the second and third albums are fantastic. They're back together. I love them, but it's sad to see him go. So Unwritten Law are the winner of the first bracket.
Damn.
Baby,
ding,
baby,
ding,
baby.
ding.
All right, second bracket. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This one
Second
seems
bracket's
like
always better than the first.
this one seems like a fucking no-brainer.
Right.
It's Yellow Card versus Sugar Cold.
You know what? I
Who
didn't.
the fuck is Sugar Cult?
Well,
That
Sugar Cult.
You'd recognize
yeah.
a couple of songs.
Yeah,
They, like it was.
This will never start.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
It was in some of the movies that
Yeah.
we've covered.
Yeah.
It was when like a lot of the stuff started to come out, started to lean much more towards the pop than the punk.
Yeah.
Like it was essentially just like pop music with like guitars.
I remember staying away from Sugar Cult
Like the Veronicas.
at the time and being like, I don't think that's for me. But listening to Memory in the car driving to gigs is quite fun.
yeah.
It's like it's a very catchy song. I did not really like the other one that they.
Yeah, I remembered that one.
Yeah.
But Yellow Card, yeah, I saw Yellow Card I think maybe 3 times or something like that. I always enjoyed them back in the day.
I'm a later adopter of Yellow Card because I hated them when they first came out. I was like, ugh.
Violin,
Yeah.
gay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
But the
and
violin player did backflips off the amps.
And I still stand
That's sick.
by that.
He-
no, I like them a lot more
One of
now
the-
than I did then.
One of the times I saw them was like in what used to be called the Gaelic Club when it was like that downstairs bit where
Yeah.
it was
yeah.
like
I saw
really,
their support band there.
yeah, like
I saw
real,
Chicks Who Love Guns there.
real packed in and sweaty, and the violin player did the backflip off the amp, which I thought was a tremendous amount of gymnastic control considering how fucking tiny the space was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind Yellow Card now. I think that song on Ocean on that album with about his dad, where it's like "Hey Dad" every single lyric, is one of the lamest things I've ever fucking heard.
Which
in my
album
life.
is that?
It's on the big one, Ocean Avenue.
Really?
Yeah, it's like,
I don't
"Hey
even remember
Dad,
that.
want my dad? I love Dad, 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 Dad." It's like Andrew Hastings writing a song to his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking last night. I was talking on the phone about the time he ranked his children.
No.
I was
So
thinking
he
about
did a
that.
bracket for
Yeah,
his
we
children?
can find it on
No,
there.
it was a 1 to 5 ranking. It was like a Rolling Stone.
Where'd you come?
It's Jerry's power ranking my kids.
It was. That
Where'd
was
you come?
second.
Oh,
Second.
Who beat
Yeah.
you, the NASA kid?
No, that's the other side. He's
Oh,
not my
right,
dad's. He's
right.
my
Man,
mom's kid.
what fucking losers came below you?
What the fuck's wrong
Well,
with
he
that?
has 2 boys and 3 girls.
Oh, so all
I'll
the
let,
chicks.
I'll let you do
Oh,
the maths
so-
on that. Yeah.
He's sexist.
That is very funny.
Yeah.
That, like,
Dear.
if he was talking, like, how old are the daughters?
At the time, so this would have been like 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
At the time, I think 1, 7, and 20, a couple years younger than me. So 19, 20.
Man, so the 19, 20-year-old came lower than you.
Yes.
That is... I think we need to do a re-rank. Let's call your dad now and get him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's been funny is I remember that story last night, and I told people at the party, and everyone, and every time I told you that, it's always the same response where they're like, "Second, that's pretty good."
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't be ranking his fucking kids. Like,
Second
Our
comes
response
right
was
after
second,
first.
how are you not fifth?
yeah.
I'm voting Yellow Card in this one.
I'm going to vote Yellow Card too.
my dad voted Max because he plays cricket. Yeah, yellow card.
Okay.
Well, it's moot anyway.
Okay, are you guys
Listener
ready?
might want to know
Are you guys ready
where
for
I
the,
sit on it.
Are you guys ready for the next one?
This is, oh man, heavy hitters.
Yeah, No Effects versus All Time Low.
Damn, now we're in the thick of it.
I reckon this one might be that first contentious one. Maybe.
Because I feel like you're going to have the
I'm
pussy opinion.
Absolutely
Oh,
going
man.
All Time Low.
All-time low, apt name, not good.
Fuck.
The best thing they ever did was that shit cover of Umbrella. Not
Hard disagree.
Hard. Look, I'm going to hold off on my opinions because I feel like I might have to be a tiebreaker here.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie.
I like No Effects. I always have, but like No Effects, like, and I think the songs we use, like Linoleum, slaps.
Such a good
it's
song.
amazing. But then, like, I was looking at like Pump Up the Volume, and so many of the songs, I was just like, I kind of don't.
Pump up the Valium. That sounds like my Friday night. I don't
like
know.
I do like the Blink 182-esque, like, you know, like frat boy, like joking around.
Yeah.
But 11 songs, I think it gets kind of exhausting.
Yep.
I didn't really like the era when they went all in on Bush as well, where they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, now we're talking about
Two-
Hey, but that is no way to go, Franco.
yeah,
American.
I think
Two-
the song is catchy. I think that Sam just came out in
Sam
blackface
is still
again.
in blackface.
Oh, my Lord.
This is a long-lasting face
Why did
mask.
you put lipstick on?
And the white gloves are a bit much.
Yeah, they're huge.
You look like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I think No Effects have gotten better. Actually, I listened to their last album, First Dish Effort, the other day just to see what they sounded like now, and it was great. I thought it was a very it stayed on a theme, like about
Yeah.
like drug use and stuff, which I thought was really cool.
With the Bush thing, 2002 to 2004, rough time for pop punk.
Yeah,
and
well,
punk
this
in
is when
general.
Fat Mike was organizing rock.
You didn't want to rock against Bush.
Yeah.
Man. I was like an Anti-Flag fan, and obviously American Idiot was huge for me and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get to that.
This is not really related to the music or the result or anything once, but I just thought it was very funny that a friend of mine, when before I'd figured out the trans thing, when I was just kind of parading as a cross-dresser, I had like told a friend,
Quite literally parading. There was floats every day.
yeah, but I told a friend that I was doing that, and his way to like be like, that's cool, and relate to me was like, yeah, Fat Mike from NoFX is too.
Hell yes.
Do that.
Fat Michelle.
I reckon my opinion on All Time Low is completely different to yours, Rose. I think, like, along with a couple other bands, they're the closest thing to Blink-182 still around in a modern pop punk band. They do like the jokes.
Searing.
They do like the jokey shit on stage and stuff. I think that, like, that they've definitely moved away from pure pop punk to more like straight pop, but like I think So Wrong It's Right is a great pop punk album.
Right.
And so is nothing personal. And the songs we put on that playlist are catchy as fuck.
Rose, any last comments before I break this tie?
I don't know, I just think the quality of the songs for NoFX stands up more, and they've stayed on the punk thing the whole time as opposed to going more down the pop route. So
all right, so Rose, NoFX,
no fucking X
one of the
gets mine.
progenitors of pop punk, one of the most important bands in the genre, absolutely crushing it. They're saying All Time Low. These pussy emo pretenders to the throne. Jamie Kirk, searing hot take. They are the new Blink-182. You ready for it? I completely agree with Jamie.
Yeah.
Of course you did. I could see that coming right from the start.
Yeah. Okay, so All Time Low.
They are the crown princes of pop punk. They are
at this moment.
Based on a band that's coming up later, that is a completely inaccurate statement.
Oh my Lord.
I said they were one of like a couple, but like
I think that they are these. I think they are,
especially because the other one that I'm thinking of has moved so far away from what Blink-182 are doing now into their own thing. All right, are you ready for the next one?
Please.
Hit
All right,
me, baby, one more time.
The Wonder Years versus Rancid.
Oof, these are two big dogs as well. But I feel like we're all going to vote the same way on this.
I don't think so.
Ooh, okay.
No, well, you. What I'm assuming is you probably think that I'm going to vote for Rancid.
Yes,
but man, like Rancid largely are not good.
Yeah,
they're really not.
Take.
And I've because the Wonder Years are like kind of like later era pop punk or whatever, and I haven't listened to heaps of them, but like. I could almost guarantee you that I would enjoy much more of their catalog than I would Rancid.
Look,
Rancid also have like a lot of that ska in there, which isn't good.
Look, it's no secret that I'm a emo boy.
Yeah,
I have a soft touch for the emo, to the emo twinge, to the emo aftertastes, to that flavor palette.
Mm-hmm.
And Wonder Years, I've only been like recently getting more into. I've like dabbled before, but like last like week I've been like, man, I should probably get fucking into the Wonder Years. Man, great. But also, like, Rancid, man, I love Rancid. Like, I do. They're not, like, one of my favorites or anything, but, like, their hits are fucking sick. They're fun. They're so influential. Like,
I know, stuff like Ruby Soho is just
a great
like,
song.
man, I just don't enjoy it. Yeah.
Man, crazy.
I know my experience with Rancid was, like, I had these, like, old, like, family friends come to stay at my place. I hadn't seen them for years because they were living in Canada. And, like, I was, like, really big into Sum 41 then. And they would, like, just turn up their nose at Sum 41 be like, that's not real punk. Rancid is real punk. You got to get into Rancid. And
But
then
like,
I listened to Rancid and I was like,
it's not that
like, it's not bad.
It's not that different. It's just they looked more punky.
But I was also like, to hold them up as like the fucking like punkest thing alive.
I don't think that's fair. Yeah, they're like a kind of like a very gimmicky ska punk band. Like,
I'm voting Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like with a heavy heart,
Yeah,
Rancid would have fared better if they weren't up such a heavy hitter.
So
up top.
here's one.
Also, like the side projects, like
from
Rancid, real
Tim Armstrong
seems
like a real piece of shit.
What were they fucking called? The shitty
Transplants.
The transplants. That like so bad.
Yeah.
But the other offshoot of it was one of the great names, which was Lars Fredriksson and the Bastards.
Yeah, that's
that's pretty cool.
That's a good punk band name.
So the next one, I'm not sure how familiar you two are with the two bands, but Saves the Day versus the Get Up Kids.
I know them both a bit.
Yeah.
So
I can talk about them.
Yeah, so they're both supposed to be like pretty influential older pop punk bands.
And like starting the emo craze.
Get Up Kids were definitely a bit later.
Despite the Get Up
No,
Kids,
like 99.
Really? I thought Get Up Kids were like mid 2000s.
no, because do you
fair
know the band Spoon? Their bass player was their bass player for quite a while, and he kind of moved on from there. But like, the Get Up Kids are like so often held up as like an influence by so many punk bands. So I was like, oh, I'll listen to them. And then like the critics hated them, and they're not wrong. Like they're actually not particularly good. It's really boring.
Yeah, I've always tried to like the Get Up Kids more than I do because
people you like them.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't love them. I don't agree with the fucking Pitchfork reviews from that time because they're like universally bad for any band in that. They're so snobbish, and now they're like...
Oh, I don't know though. If like around that era, like their number one album of 1999 was like Emergency and I by the Dismemberment Plan, which is like not far removed.
Yeah,
from that.
but they went real hard on the ones that they like considered scene. Like they fucking annihilated Jimmy World for like 3 records, and now like most of their editorial staff would be like, yeah, this is like reminiscent of early Jimmy World.
Jimmy World are critically
well that's
acclaimed,
they a lot of their reviews they've taken off, and they're putting new ones back on to align with
they
what
savaged Thursday, and then like jizzed all over Touche Amore, being like, you can hear the Thursday influences, and you're like, okay, well, you must have hated that.
Yeah. Have you ever wondered, and I know the answer, have you ever wondered why the devil has a pitchfork in like Christian imagery?
No.
I reckon you can problem solve it. See if you can we can figure out why.
Why the devil has a pitchfork.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. It's a lot of the stuff.
Something in the haystack.
It says all the imagery for like witches and monsters and devils and all that sort of stuff. A lot of that is them taking positive imagery from other religions and making it bad in this religion
so it's
as part of like a propaganda war.
So it's like a smaller menorah or something like that.
No, but you're close.
Thing?
All right.
It's not a Jew thing. It's because Poseidon has a trident.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
It would be so funny if it was a mini menorah.
That would be hilarious. Imagine if the like devil had a yarmulke.
Yeah, the devil was just an old Orthodox Jewish man.
Yeah.
I agree with you about the Get Up Kids. I love Saves the Day, however.
I haven't listened to heaps of Saves the Day, but what I have listened to I really like. I love At Your Funeral. That's a ripping tune.
And his voice has completely changed now.
I had to listen through to like Through Being Cool. That's like their big one, right?
Through Being Cool and Stay What You Are are like the big one.
I like Through Being Cool.
I gave Save the Day a bit of a run the last couple of months. Real fun. Real. I'm gonna spend more time on them. Get Up Kids, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone's voting Saves the Day.
Sorry, Rob Pope.
Saves the Day. All right, next one.
Oh my god, there's blood in my snot.
Oh shit, we're at 42 minutes. We might have to do it. This might have to be 2 episodes.
Oh Jesus.
Less Than Jake versus Man Overboard, and I assume we're going to need Hastings back because I assume he's got some thoughts about Man Overboard.
I didn't even know that was a band before we made this list.
Man Overboard is sick.
Man Overboard were like one of the big booms of like mid to late 2000s pop punk.
The like pop punk as pop punk rather than emo resurgence. Yeah.
They were the people that came up with like Defend Pop Punk.
Yeah, the Defend Pop Punk thing is them. That's their shirt.
And like they come up with like the Wonder Years, but like they're a lot more juvenile. Like every song is about like a girl doing them wrong.
They're named after a Blink-182 song.
Yeah.
That's how pop punk these do.
I would assume that.
And like people in that scene loved Man Overboard, and now I've kind of turned on them and been like, yeah, it's not woke to just sing about chicks all the time.
Man, whatever. But
it's fucking catchy.
Yeah, it's like, they're great. I think they're a really fun, solid pop punk band. Really good. Really, like a really good example. I think in terms of like representing pop punk, they're nailing it. They're one of the top dogs, I would say.
Less Than Jake, super fun to watch live. I went and saw them and Real Big Fish on like a double bill once.
That rules.
And it was fucking great. It was for free too, so that was
That's insisting that we have Real Big Fish at our wedding.
Like they all come and perform.
Man, that would be sick.
You can probably send them
No, just to play Beer or Take On Me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But like,
I hate it. Like,
I think because
I'm furious.
Because Less Than Jake are like ska punk, but there are songs that don't have the horns and stuff
Yeah,
in them.
and like they were pretty at the time. Were like if you said like you like Blink-182, people would be like, if you like that, like Less Than Jake, No Effects.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have some fucking incredibly catchy songs. Like Plastic Cup Politics is real fun. I think that's what I put on the playlist. And Look What Happened is just a ripper. Like the only problem that I have with them is the songs that are led by the guitar player on vocals are nowhere near as good or fun as the ones with Roger, the bass player,
Right.
who's doing the vocals.
I always thought the John Frusciante songs were better.
Of course it did.
John Frusciante's got some good
Man,
shit
he's
on
great.
his solo record.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's good.
All right, so what do you reckon, Hastings? You voting for Man Overboard or Less Than Jake?
I'm voting for Man Overboard, but I also think someone should try tell a joke sometime soon.
No, we did the ranking, you fucking kids.
That's
Shit.
true. That's true.
Also, this isn't a joke episode that
Right.
we're listing,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
have to stick to the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we fucking got through like 3 brackets, and we're 45
Yeah. All right.
minutes
all right.
through.
We need to
let's-
start
let's fly
tearing through.
Let's fly through. The ones that
I think we're gonna have to divide this up into 2 episodes.
That's fine.
Or it
but
can
let's
be a long
we
episode.
still have to hurry
Yeah.
up. Like,
Okay, so
We have-
what was your vote for Less Than Jake or
Less
Man?
Than Jake.
Okay, I'm voting Man Overboard.
Oh man.
Tie break.
hell yes.
I think that
Defend pop punk.
I think there are going to
Defend
be a
pop
lot
punk.
of Rose tie breaks that go against her.
Of course. I knew that was going to happen as soon as I came here.
It's because you're not as pop punk as
next-
us.
No, it's because you two are fucking secretly aligned. Well, not secretly at all.
Next one, Newfound Glory versus Paramore.
Oh my god.
This is some bullshit.
Jamie,
This one is going to be so fun.
Jamie, I think you're gonna have to do the tiebreak on this.
Yeah, and
No, do you know what? If the tenets of it are...
Oof, this is a tough one for everyone.
Seriously, if the tenets of it are is how well you represent pop punk,
Yep.
Newfound Glory are very widely regarded as like the next pop punk band besides Blink-182.
That's
They've
true.
been flying the flag for it their whole career. They still put out catchy as hell pop punk songs. They're like funny on stage. They kicked a shito out of their band, which is good. Like, and the songs are so fun.
Paramore were the most important band, like female-led band of the 2000s in the genre of pop punk.
Mm-hmm.
Their songs, I think, like short of Blink-182, they write my favorite pop punk songs there are.
Interesting.
Riot and the first album, All We Know Is Falling, so fucking good. Hayley Williams is like a giant in the scene. Funny, oh yeah, that's right, Newfound Glory. That's funny. She married the Chad Gilbert.
Yeah.
I think Paramore are like. They've like transcended the genre. Like they've moved out of the genre now.
I
That's not
think
what they're
that
doing
is
now.
what rules them out.
No, that's ridiculous. I think Paramore are also, I'm pretty sure, only woman on the list.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's mid-2000s pop punk. What
I
do you
think
expect?
I
You
can
want us
say-
to put Hey Monday on that?
I can
Avril
see,
Lavigne.
All right,
Yeah.
and so that's why I'm for why Paramore are good. I'm for why Newfound Glory should lose. The stick in this carrot and stick arrangement is that Newfound Glory write bad songs and Paramore write good songs. And I think Paramore.
I
wins that
argue
front.
the exact opposite. Newfound Glory write really
I
catchy
mean,
pop songs, and Paramore are boring.
That's in a matter of opinion then.
Okay, so we've got one vote for Paramore.
I think you both know that technically Newfound Glory should win.
I
this.
haven't said anything yet.
Yeah, but look at the look
concede
on your fucking
emblematic of
face.
Pop punk, but I think Paramore are still pop punk
So-
enough that it's not an automatic
we've
knockout.
got-
I'm going to walk off the podcast
so we've
if this
got
fucking...
one vote for Paramore and one vote for Newfound Glory.
No, I'm fucking throwing in 2 votes for
Here,
Newfound Glory.
here we go. I think Paramore are a better band than Newfound Glory. Like, I like listening to them more. I enjoy them more. Hastings, your own downfall is the cutthroat kitchen thing you expected.
I
Because
know.
Rose is right.
Yeah, Newfound Glory are.
is
It's hard to
bigger in the
argue.
scene. So I'm voting with Rose for Newfound Glory.
Yay!
Even though, like, I listened to Sticks and Stones for the first time, and I was kind of just like, oh, is this it? Like, I like their catchy songs,
Yeah.
but like,
I love it.
but I
I have to go commit seppuku for I have shamed
Yeah.
Hayley Williams.
so I've got to go with Newfound Glory.
Man, it's
Yeah.
brutal.
They're like the successor. They did a tour with Blink-182.
Yeah, and Sum 41.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, let's
What-
keep moving.
Oh, yeah, they did. I went to that.
Yeah, so did I. Alkaline Trio versus Good Charlotte. This one should take 2 seconds.
Yeah, let's not waste our
Alkaline
time.
Trio.
Yeah, all right.
Oh,
Good
gee, all
Charlotte.
right, I thought we were all going to go for Charlotte, but
Yeah. I got my brass knuckles hanging from maybe the worst song ever written.
Yeah,
Is
obviously-
that I Just Want to Live?
No, this is
Your Hands Off My
Keep Your
Girl?
Hands Off My Girl.
Yeah.
No,
But that's
that
only-
is like
But
pretty
that's the same
close.
reason as they just went down the, like... Obviously, they were like some market like marketing band from the start, where they're just like, "Oh, this is the hot sound now," and then they
Oh yeah,
just
Yeah, absolutely.
Every trajectory of a Good Charlotte album is based on what's popular at the time. Pure pop punk. Then they moved to in that Love and Death one, where Chronicles of Life and Death, which was emo. Then Panic became huge. They did
their
dance
fucking
punk
Panic
album.
thing. Yeah.
They suck. They're unoriginal.
Yeah.
Even the songs that people like are bad.
The Madden Brothers are fucking
Oh yeah,
hacks,
they
dude.
they don't age well looking. Like I loved that
Girls
first album when
don't
it came
like
out, but
boys, girls like cars and money.
That was
is
terrible.
horrific. Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous is a dog shit song.
Yeah.
The anthem is like fun, but for 12-year-olds.
but
like,
you
it's-
listen back to it and you're like, oh, this isn't good.
Yeah, it's not good stuff.
Motivate me.
Whereas Alkaline Trio, pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can argue why Alkaline Trio. We can talk about Alkaline
They're-
Trio more in depth when
they're-
we get to them again.
They're on the
Yeah.
darker side of things, but like stuff like Stupid Kid. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pop
We
punk.
all agree they're better.
Yeah.
We can when they're up against whoever they're up against next. We can.
All right,
deep
we
dive
might
in
be
on
able to
them.
get through this whole thing
Yeah, we
before
can get through
we
the
cut.
first round.
Okay, MXPX versus the All American Rejects.
Okay. All American Rejects probably had bigger hits. And,
Yes, they definitely did.
Well, they definitely did. Yeah. But poppier, MXPX, punkier. But you could argue that because I think maybe they have like Christian ties.
Yeah, they are a Christian band, I believe.
Man, that ain't your rejects.
Although they don't sing about Christian
No,
stuff.
not really.
But yeah, I don't know. If you're going pure pop punk, if I'm going to use the same arguments as I was in the Newfound Glory thing, it's MXPX.
Do you like All American Rejects?
I don't mind some of the songs.
I
But I
did-
also like
I like 'em.
I really got into MXPX for a time when I was
Yeah,
younger.
same. I had that Ever Passing Moment album.
I had the best of thing. It was like 10 years and running or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I think All American Rejects are just a better band. They were a bigger band. I think they're more important. I think they're fun. One thing I will say about All American Rejects though is, and they're not like my favorite band of the genre. Like I like them, but they're not like I never bought an album or whatever.
I think my sister
That
did.
lead singer was so hot.
Yeah.
And the songs were so catchy, and the music videos were so fun. Why were they not bigger? And they were big. Like Wish You Well was huge. Like,
because-
Gives You Hell, sorry.
Because punk had, like, pop punk was kind of at the end of its rope at that point.
And
I
like
think.
Fall Out Boy and all that shit was when was All American? Like it was like 05, 06.
But that was probably like in the All American Rejects were probably like in the middle of like those
yeah,
two sides
right.
of it.
Yeah, it was like they were big, but it seemed like
Because
they
Fall Out Boy got bigger later when they started like
yeah.
changing it up a bit and being a bit more punk or like dancey and stuff.
Fall Out Boy are a better band, but All American Rejects definitely could have like ridden some of that wave. You know,
Yeah.
it's similar. They're in the same wheelhouse.
So
for me.
you voting for the Rejects?
I'm voting for the Rejects,
And you're
yeah.
voting for MXPX?
Yes.
I'm going to break the tie and go All American Rejects
Yeah.
just because I like them better.
Yeah, it's also like
I don't feel strongly enough to care.
Yeah.
All American Rejects Gives You Hell. That would have been around the same time as Infinity on High.
No, Foley I did because I saw them.
Foley was Foley. So
Yeah.
it was later.
Yeah.
All right.
It was like
That
08,
makes sense.
09.
That makes like a lot of sense.
Okay, next. Mayday Parade versus The Offspring.
Ooh, damn! Worlds collide.
Mayday Parade were again one of those bands that I didn't know, and the only two songs I've heard are the ones in the playlist. So The Offspring.
They did. They did a couple of good punk goes pop ones that got pretty big. They got one of the ones that got like big pop
Yeah.
goes punk stuff.
Mm.
But also like I think they're sick. They're like a great like emo pop punk band.
Okay.
Offspring, I was a huge fan of that.
Yeah. So who are you voting?
For for this competition specifically, you kind of got to go the Offspring, right?
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
like smash
gotta,
Ixnay
like-
on the Hombre. You gotta
Yeah.
It's
Americana.
unanimous. I'm voting The Offspring as
Yeah.
well. Because
Yeah.
like we can...
Come out and play.
Well,
is-
because we also have to like match all these people up again, so we can go deeper into
Yeah.
why there's stuff later.
Yeah.
All right, next, Midtown versus Phoenix TX.
I didn't know. I don't give a shit about either of these bands.
I never I haven't listened to a ton of Phoenix TX, nor Midtown, but like I really got into like Phoebe Cates and a couple of other songs back when. So I think just for that,
I'll
it's
give it to
going
them
Phoenix
just based on that
TX.
song as well. I the little bit I know of them, I preferred Phoenix TX.
They would have been like a real staple on like the Warped Tour
I
and
love
stuff like that.
both Midtown and
Yeah.
Phoenix TX.
All right.
Midtown, famous singer. You
Yep.
guys may know him. Gabe Supporter of Cobra Starship.
Oh damn!
This was the band he did before Cobra Starship.
Yeah,
So we
right.
got
I know Midtown, but I don't know Cobra Starship.
Good
You don't
Girls
know-
Go Bad
yeah,
was
Good Girls
the
Go Bad.
I make
The
them
Snakes-
good girls
the Snakes
go
on a
bad.
Plane song. They like broke like top 40 a bunch.
Yeah,
like
they
were.
were doing that very like poppy kind of pop
Yeah.
punk.
Um,
I don't know. I just I don't come across that stuff because I haven't had a car for God knows how long, so I'd never listen.
yeah. I'm going to go with Phoenix TX because I enjoy listening to Phoenix TX more.
Yeah.
And Phoebe Cates
Is a fucking banger, and it's...
and a person in one of the movies that we did.
Yeah. All right, next. Lagwagon versus the Ataris.
Now, this is going to be a controversial opinion because the Ataris are pretty derided in punk circles for being poppy and shit, but I just could never get on board with Lagwagon. I just think the guy's voice is annoying.
What was Lagwagon's big
the
song?
songs are
May 16.
Yeah.
It's on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yeah.
The songs are just a bit shit.
Yeah, I'm
I
voting
don't
for
know.
Lagwagon.
You're voting for Lagwagon?
Yeah, I don't like the Ataris.
You're voting for the
The
Ataris?
Ataris, yeah.
I loved the Ataris.
All right.
And I still think San Dimas High School Football Rules is really catchy.
That song I don't mind.
I also like Lagwagon quite a bit. I think May 16 is like maybe one of the better pop punk songs ever made. I don't mind the guy's voice, but I am going to go for the Ataris ultimately because I think they're more emblematic of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, well, Lagwagon were kind of like drunk, dead shit skate punk.
And especially like because the album's not based on Let's Talk About Feelings, which is where May 16 came from, are much more like skate punkier.
Yeah.
Okay. Ataris.
That's on like the kind of gutter mouth side
Yeah.
of things. And
Next. This
Which
is a
we
big
probably could have
This is a
included,
big
to be honest.
matchup. Have you guys seen it?
I saw it.
It's Sum 41
I'm assuming it's got
versus
Sum 41.
Green Day.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, based
Two
on...
heavyweights.
There is going to
Tyson
be I think
Ali.
there's going to be a tiebreaker here that I'm unhappy with.
Yeah.
I was going to say, based on the Newfound Glory versus Paramore thing, then Sum 41 gets it because Green Day went...
What the fuck are you talking about?
went further away from punk.
This
But
delights me.
Sum 41 actually went down the kind of metal route a bit.
Yeah.
But they've kind of gone up and down. Because Chuck was very kind of like...
Chuck was aggressively metal.
It was
and then
very metal
Underclass
inspired.
Hero
and then
was
Underclass
very
Hero.
popular.
Underclass Hero and the ensuing tour was them trying to be what Green Day turned into.
Yeah.
He was wearing the fucking tie. He was marching around with like gimmick shit on and like trying to command the crowd like Billy Joe Armstrong does in like Bullet in a Bible. Like,
Damn right he commands that crowd.
So what is your vote ultimately?
I'll just go with the heart and like they're because I think even like early Green Day isn't as pop punky. It's more like drongo, like dead shit punk, like down the like Lagwagon thing or whatever. So I think ultimately I got to go for Sum 41.
You are making Hasek so angry.
This
Go.
is fucking ridiculous.
Go.
They wrote Dookie, cunt. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you? That's like one of the most important pop punk albums there is. That Dookie came out before Dude Ranch. It's like maybe the most important pop punk album.
I agree.
Man, how like Green Day are like they're
But look what they became into.
They're up there. They're like I'm not even that big a fan, but it's like they're up there with Blink. It's like them and Blink.
I just don't consider it in the strain of pop punk that like all this other stuff is.
Man, what are you talking about?
I am much more on Hastings' side argumentatively, but I am still going to vote Sum 41.
American Idiot is one of like the most important albums of the 21st
Yeah, but American
century.
Idiot kind of sucks.
No, shut up. You kind of suck.
That's what the argument's going to turn into.
course
All
it
killer, no filler. More like all killer, your filler.
Yeah, dude.
More like fuck you, idiot.
Man.
You're a big stupid fathead.
Man, it's so good. I think Green Day are kind of lame, and I'm not even. But it's like, man, they
I don't think Green Day are lame at all.
they are such an important pop.
I think that you're right that they're important. I think Dookie is probably one of the most important pop punk albums ever made.
Yeah.
I still would rather jam out to Sum 41.
That's probably ultimately what it comes down to for me.
This is like when Vegeta and Goku fought in round one
It's
of the.
Sum 41, progressing past Green Day.
My
That's
God.
where a lot of people turn it off and are like, we'll just tell your mother we ate it all. Isn't even punk.
Yeah, we just jumped the shark.
We never said that we were punk. We said that we were
moment,
pop
We just
punk.
jumped the fucking
They
shark.
tear off their
Yeah.
They tear off their "We'll just tell your mother we ate it all" patch off
Patches
their
off
Emily the Strange backpack and go home. Next one is this one seems like it could be an easy knockout punch, but Fall Out Boy versus Rufio.
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
I'm just going to vote for Rufio because I don't like Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy are dope.
I love Fall Out Boy. For a while there, they were probably the closest thing to like the next Blink 182.
I don't even really
Yeah.
know Rufio, but I just hate Fall Out Boy so
I think
much.
in like my understanding is like the way Mark Hoppus at least like thinks about it is it's like Blink-182 begat Fall Out Boy, which begat
That
All
All-Time Low.
All Time Low. That's
Yeah.
They like make jokes about that in one of their videos and shit.
Yes, they do.
It's like such a Fall Out Boy are right up there in the pantheon of kings of pop punk.
I think Fall Out Boy's like first 2 albums are pretty like very good pop punk albums.
Their first 2 albums are like bulletproof. Like, they're such good albums.
And
as well.
I also did. What do you think about Rufio?
I'm fine, whatever. Who cares?
Did you listen to Rufio at all
I
growing
remember
up?
thinking it was like a fine pop.
We all used to love.
Not before this. I've
Yeah.
listened for this.
So you listened to the version on the playlist?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, it gets you much more psyched up in the like original album cut of that Above Me song. It's the first track of their first album, and it starts with the hook thing where they go Rufio, 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 and then it goes into that really fast thing. So we used to love that in year 10.
That's pretty sick.
Jamie Kirkland. But I'm gonna go Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I didn't think I was.
I think Fall Out Boy is a clear winner there.
Man, there's going to be some fucking epic ones coming up. Brand New versus Millencolin is our next one.
All right. Millencolin, because Brand New have one pop punk album. The rest of
I'd
it's...
say 1.5.
There's like elements of it in Deja and Tendu, but like... Yeah, ultimately they're like a post-hardcore band.
What if it was Deja Get Head To?
Oh man, you surely could have done one with one of their albums.
Yeah.
I was stuck on Deja.
Like, what about my favorite weapon?
Yeah, okay.
My penis.
Yeah.
What about Daisy, who was giving me a head job?
What about science fiction?
The devil
the
and God.
concept of me having
I
sex.
don't know. The devil and God are simultaneously inside of me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I assume you were going to vote Brand New. Hastings, explain why.
I don't think it's that given. Brand New are one of my favorite bands, but edit that out. But I love Brand New, obviously, and I love that
Vinny
album.
Accardi didn't do anything wrong. He wrote some great songs.
I listened to Science Fiction the other day. I think it's a great album.
I will put on in 100 times. I will put on Brand New over Millencolin every 100 times.
So would I.
But they have one pop punk album, which is great, and it's a very great pop punk. It really is emblematic of pop punk. It's a very pop punk sound. It's great.
I don't really like how it's aged. It's so bitter towards
It's so
women.
bitter.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's so toxic. Like, yeah, it's fucked up.
Like, it's not the same as like Man Overboard being like pining after
No,
a girl.
it's
This one is
quite
like
ugly.
I want like the guy who cheated on to die.
Yeah.
Listening to that and then listening to The Devil and God, which is literally only got one album in between it, is like the gulf is enormous.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, yeah, you could see why when they came and toured, like, Jesse would forget the words of like things like Jude Law because he just like has no interest in playing them.
Yeah.
But Millencolin, like, they're obviously a very important pop punk band. I'm voting for Brand New because I love them. I think they've got a really great pop punk album that people should know, and I think it's important. I think it's one that's worth listening to if you're a pop punk fan, even if you're not an emo fan. I think Deja has like some good pop punk stuff. Millencolin, I get that they're important. I get that they're good, but yeah, Brand New got to take it for me.
So we got to vote for Brand New, a vote for Millencolin?
Yeah. I think they're more of a pop punk.
I
band.
have to take Rose's side in this. Okay. Like, I do agree that like
and also because I'm woke.
Yeah, 100 times out of it. Yeah, I'm actually a feminist, so I'm going to say Millencolin. Yeah, I would say 100 times out of 100, there's going to be no situation.
See, Jesse Lacey fucks little girls, and the guy in Millencolin fucks his scooter, apparently.
But like in every like, if you had like a probability computer that put aside like Penny Bridge Pioneers versus any Brand New album, 100% of the time, I'm always going to choose Brand New.
Of course.
Fun fact that I found out in later years, Engadine, the town where I grew up, Millencolin played a gig there once.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
would
didn't
have
even
played
know
like
that
a
was
lot
happening.
of like small gigs. I'm going for Millencolin too, just because I think that they have a longer pop punk career and they are more important. And Brand New, like, clearly don't even want to be thought of really as pop punk.
I didn't want to be thought of at all anymore. I think they're
Well, I
like,
think they
we're
wanna
just going to
be,
quietly retire.
Okay, we're an hour in, so this could be the last
honestly,
one.
I have a solution. I have an idea how we can sort this out for the rest. We'll do it after. I'll explain after the bracket.
Okay, Motion City Soundtrack versus Something Corporate.
Don't like Something Corporate. Loved Motion City soundtrack.
Hastings?
Plus connections to Mark Hoppus, who produced Commit This to Memory and sings a guest verse on a song on that record.
And he produced My Dinosaur Life too, which is great.
Is that later?
Yep.
I think I only had that and the one before it.
I don't care enough to argue, but I like Motion City Soundtrack. So
Yeah, I like Merchant City soundtrack more than I like Something Corporate. But I do like the guy from Something Corporate who went on to do like Jack's Mannequin and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be Motion City for this one because even the songs that we put on by Something Corporate are much more kind of like pop-y, keyboard-led constructed than straight out pop punk, which like Motion City soundtrack is with the addition of the great Moog.
And the dude doing like headstands on it.
Yeah, exactly. There was a big period in like mid-2000s where there was some fuck and a keyboard doing headstands because they didn't have enough stuff.
Yeah, well, like Newfound Glory toured with Reggie and the Full Effect, and that dude would come on and like add keyboard and piano and stuff because he put it on Failure's Not Flattering.
All right, well, Motion City soundtrack take out, and that's the first round, everybody.
Yeah. So my idea was to do a couple of rounds every episode till we're done and do a big crowning one when it's done. So just spread it out over the next month.
Man, I think we can get through this in the next episode, to be honest.
You reckon? How many rounds are there to go?
Hang on. But we have a bit of a special thing coming up for a month.
Yeah.
So maybe this is something for after.
Yeah, but if you can't leave a gap too long. I reckon if we can wrap it up in 10 minutes, let's just finish it the next episode.
Yeah, I think we can do it. We could probably try, at least, without a preamble.
All right. Bit of sizzle for next week.
Well, how long have we been going?
About an hour and
bit over an
10
hour.
minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
The longest one for a while.
Bit of sizzle for next week. We're going to be wrapping up this bracketology and doing...
So if you love this week's episode, you're going to love next week's episode. If you hated it, see if we can crank some more jokes in that bitch this time.
Yeah.
But you missed Deja Get Head 2? Are you going to...
Yeah.
What are you sleeping on, fool?
Yeah.
All right. Should we do our plugs and stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come to Powerbomb Comedy.
For those of you who are still listening.
Yeah, come to Powerbomb Comedy every Friday and come to Powerbomb Comedy every Saturday in October for the Powerbomb Comedy Festival.
Shows include
Sam Campbell, Emma Zamet, Eric Patrick, Snake Pit, The Phone Hacks Podcast, Worst First Dates Podcast, Total Reboot Podcast, all our fucking shows.
Dan Rath, Lauren Bonner.
Oh yeah, those two as well.
Oh yeah, Rathy's doing one. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Man, I might try and see if I can do sound for that or something.
Thanks for coming out and supporting live comedy by Rose Piper, 5:45 p.m. October 26th.
You Up, Andrew Hastings, October 5, 9:30. It's going to be sick. I've been working on it.
I'm
I've been
trying to
writing
engineer a way in which Alex has to do sound for your show, but he is not pleased with the idea.
I think Steph might end up doing sound. I got to figure that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a bit of a cliffhanger.
And come to comedy at Papagetti's third Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, this is a bit of a cliffhanger, so we'll let you know what happens next week. To the next step.
Haley, I'm sorry. I agree with most of the choices in this, but Paramore, you are the only exception.
There we go.
Yeah.